Torchlight.
Also known as roll of paper towels. You know, same difference, right? Hashtag not sponsored. It would have been great if there was like a logo on the screen with that. You know what I should do? I should point the camera, because I take the camera off this thing when I'm not using it. I didn't do my intro, did I? I said Torchlight in the voice, right?
Greetings, mortals. Welcome to the...
So, what was I saying? I break for a split second and I can't remember what I was saying. It's like I'm taken over by a whole different person when I do that. What save point was I in? Presumably this one. Let's see. Oh, I like take off the camera because I don't want it pointed at me when I'm not using it. I usually point it directly at the desk, but I should just start pointing it directly at my my turtle. I have like a little turtle on the desk. It's just like a cute little turtle that sits on my monitor stand, and it is charcoal. Do I need to turn up the thing? Probably, that's fine. Oh, right! Oh, I forgot how cute Samaria is. Oh, man. Oh, man. Alright, what's that? It's everybody. I can't enter an inventory of a person who's asleep. Not that way. Okay. So, let's cast Awaken. I hate to... You know what? No, we're not even going to cast Awaken. If Severia's going to get woken up, it's going to be by an enemy, not a friend. They look too cute while they're sleeping. Alright, we're going to sidestep that attack. And we're going to start beating up the Ether Lords. So... when last we left off, we were realizing that this is going to be a very difficult area to clear. And I actually have my mana back, so I should probably... Also, a quick question. 117. Okay, so I think that during the last patch, the Shaman change was already in play, and that's why the numbers were so much lower than I was expecting them to be. So they've changed Shamans to have half as much scaling on the spell damage and healing, apparently. Either they did already, or they're going to. One of the two. And that is bad news bears for me. Because it's my primary healing source. Torchlight Thrower. Oh, did I even cast Torchlight when I got back? Look, I have to cast it twice now. Now we cast this. There's just like a point that just glows, like an invisible point where light radiates out of it, but you can't see what's the source. Okay, so you are injured.
I've never seen one before.
Right, all of these are basically full HP. I remember now. So we have two enemies here that are like kind of critically important to deal with. We have a couple others that are kind of important to deal with. I think I'm going to burn through this one first. Not because it's super important, but because I can. Well, I didn't cast Preservation. I didn't cast Preservation. You know, I assumed that Yesterday Arc would have handled that. But also, I am way better rested today than I was yesterday. Yesterday, I was really tired. So, like, toward the end of the stream, I was, like, trying to, like, you know, go through all these enemies, and I was just like, I don't have the energy to keep this up any longer. So, I wandered off to do house chores, which is definitely less energy intensive than pressing A few times in front of some enemies. So, we're going to do the same thing, only this time we're not going to suck at it. I say that. That's not true. I am going to continue to suck at it. Did you get poisoned? Yes, you did. You sure did. You sure did. So did I do any meaningful damage while I was at it? Oh shit. Korgrik has such like fast regen that I didn't notice the poison. Let's see, did I get any damage into... You know, there's only one of the little ones left, and the big ones are now at the edge. Interior of the crystal went fine, actually. I was worried that I was going to need to do some like extreme shenanigans, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. It just required that I... oh boy. Let's cure that poison. It required a couple of resets, but not that many. It was maybe like, I don't know, like... somewhere between 5 and 10, I think. Like, a very small number. I was thinking that it was going to be, like, really rough, even with the changes to my setup. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. That was actually super spooky, because I'm right in front of a pool of water, and I'm just, like, unequipping the most awesome thing that I have in my inventory, and throwing it toward the lake. Okay, saving... Let's see, how much damage did we do to Summoner? Nothing. So what we're going to do here is be sad because they're all going to rotate toward the center. And then we're going to beat up this Ether Lord. And then we're going to run away before too much bad shit starts happening. And then we get hit by a billion hits. Okay, we need to cure the poison on you. What just hit me? What just happened? Well, are they both poisoned? No.
Now we'll see.
We will definitely see. Okay. Can I heal everybody? Oh, you know what? Let's cure poison. We can do that much. Are you still poisoned? No, you're not still poisoned, I don't think. Alright. That's the wrong button. I keep pressing F5 when I'm out of combat because it used to be
It won't fit.
that.
Sorry. It won't fit. It won't fit. It won't fit. It won't fit.
Okay. And it's tempting to pick up some Ascension because I'm not using that much of my mana bar when I hit, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. It's going to overall reduce my... No wonder you went down. No wonder. Let's see. But yeah, Interior of the Crystal. That's what we were talking about. Yes. Interior of the Crystal went pretty much fine. Like, it was...
I'm not sure what
it was
is.
not easy. But breaking into the crystal didn't take that long because the crystal is has an area that you can basically like save your progress in very early. Okay, I just killed myself.
Like it's up.
I was betting on a thing that I was not going to get. Also, I don't even know if it would help me that much, honestly, if I'd gotten what I wanted. So, basically, there was an early save point. Pretty good stuff. We can dive straight at you, start getting some damage out, and then immediately start rotating away. Cast this. Oh, Sedusa blood point. Right, yes. Okay, well, at least now I know where that is coming from. You're poisoned again. Are you poisoned, Korgrik? The fact that you're unconscious implies that you're poisoned. The fact that you're still unconscious, damn near guarantees it.
It won't fit. Sorry. Sorry.
So let's see here. Save the game. And then once I got through the first bit, it wasn't too bad. There were a couple of strong enemies in there, but none of it was really as bad as I was expecting.
What is it?
Outside of breaking into the entrance. Breaking into the entrance was pretty rough. But honestly, it wasn't as rough as a lot of the shit that we've already done. Once I had gotten my characters powered up a bit. Alright, let's get out of here. Heal yourself instead of Spheria. Let's see. E.
Sorry. It won't fit.
E. Yeah. Yeah, this part is going to be probably the hardest part of this place, is just dealing with this. Maybe this one. This one might actually be harder. I'm not actually sure on that. Okay, we have a lot of random ads that we've spawned now. I think I want to start burning through them because they spawn near the entrance, and I can actually hurt them without getting onto the thing. That's unfortunate. On the plus side, the venomous enemy is not really benefiting that much from being venomous compared to like an AoE or something like that. Hey, Malekith.
Sorry. It won't fit. It won't fit.
There's no room.
Yeah, if it had Fireball, I'd be... honestly, if this thing had Fireball, I might load the autosave. If this enemy right here with another enemy that summons was venomous with fireballs, I would load the autosave because this would take so many years for me to be able to get punched through. I'm doing no damage right now.
Sure what it is.
And I can't, like... What I should probably do is I should probably abandon the idea of ever setting foot on the island, because every time I set foot on the island, I go backward in terms of progress. And what I should be doing is kind of dicking around, dodging as many attacks as I can, which is not that many, honestly, until they're in position for me to do some damage to them, and then doing some damage and then running away. That was wrong. Okay. You're moving in the right direction. Oh boy. So we're going to burn through a good portion of our mana bar doing this. What I'd really like to do, actually, is burn through some of the like
Never seen one before.
some of the Ether Lords that aren't bosses. That's what I should have been fixated on. And I think I'm not going to worry about it right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some Eldritch Horror over here and kill an Eldritch Horror and use it to regenerate my SP. Does anyone remember? Like, this is how I remember it. In the original game, were these fully immune to physical, and the others were fully immune to magic damage? Is that how this worked? The behemoths? Were the behemoths immune to magic, and these were immune to physical or something? Because that's how I remember it being. I thought that the behemoths or something were immune to magic. I guess I'm wrong. Maybe they were just immune to the specific spell that I was casting. Alright. Well, we got some mana back. Let's see. preservation is low. Sign its petition to take ID monster. Let's see, who can get ID monster? Nobody can learn it and get it very good, I don't think. I don't think that Ash can even learn it. Did I pick it up on everybody who could pick it up even? I don't remember. I think that I went into the place where I would get it and checked for it. And it was not available for the other characters that didn't have it already. So it was like, I picked a party that doesn't really do Identify Monster. Let's see here. Haste is what I was looking for. 28 minutes? Holy shit, I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. Okay. Look at that. Remembering to equip my light magic item. Let's see. They did have paralyzed in their attacks.
Oh.
So basically, everything here was specifically designed to fuck with with melees. And you could just orbital bombard everything from orbit. So this is a Ring of Fusion. This gives of water magic and alchemy skill +6. Now this is a ancient Twilight Crease of the Dragon. Let's go.
I can't identify.
Now here's something.
Ooh, that is a lot of water resist. And plus to all stats. So I'll look at that later. Actually, I guess I can look at it now. I think I have an alchemy item on. Just not a good one. No, I took it off when I was rearranging my gear. Oh, I will say though, so when we were doing the swapping around of everything, we basically like doubled the base vitality for most of the party. Just by swapping around where we were putting the rings. Because we had like a ton of characters that had really glaring weaknesses in their resistances. I had stuff like, I had a lot of like plus all resist gear on Severia, which is just inefficient, and luck gear on Severia, which is also inefficient from a defensive perspective. So we're in much better shape against energy damage and shit like that. But we're also in much better shape against basically everything. Severia has terrifyingly high resists now, because Severia I basically just maximized their resists, and I gave them all the stuff that just gives plus elemental at first. I actually took one of them off. I think it's in Severia's inventory right now, because there was really no reason to keep it equipped permanently. Because I didn't need it because the body was my lowest resist, so the elemental wasn't going to help me any. But I'll put that back on when I'm not dealing with energy damage. Luckily, Venomous has decided to hang out right up the coast, and I think it was locked in by the. Did I not cast? I put on the thing. Did I actually not cast the spell though? I think I didn't cast the spell. I need to check my inventory. I didn't cast the spell, I don't think. Where is? Okay, I don't think I have the thing. I got distracted. I was supposed to be.
I don't know.
Giving myself my light magic pendant. I think it's a pendant. Yeah, because I equipped this really good pendant. So we're looking for that. And then we're casting Hour of Power right before haste wears off. Okay. Just notice the poisons effect. There we go. Now, put this back on, put this back on. Whew. Forgot to put this.
It won't fit.
No space.
Alright. So, we're all set. Save the game. How much damage did we do to the... Nothing. We did nothing. If we can get a para off on the Venomous, we can potentially get a good amount of damage into it before it recovers. I am going to start killing some of these. Venom cleared. Invis recap. Invis recast.
What is it?
This is on the left side. This is... I mean, that's not. It's on the right side. The other one's on the left side, but... Look, I can read a map. Fuck. I know about relative positioning. Okay, we managed to dodge every single poison attack except for that last one that just tagged us. Oh, never mind. I was wrong. Also, wait, did something... Did you... Oh, right! There was a Swift Ether Lord on the other side of the place, and Swift can walk on water. I forgot about that. Okay, so we should be able to clear this. Oh, that actually helps us a lot. This is gonna be great. So if we can clear this Ether Lord, we'll potentially get some really shiny stuff out of it, which is nice. Yeah, it looks like a single Ether Lord just doesn't, like, even like an Ether Lord boss, doesn't really hit hard enough to, like, constitute a major threat to me. You know what? It makes sense that this is an Eldritch Shield of the Gods, actually. That is almost the perfect set of affixes for the particular area that I'm in. Them being able to walk on water is an accident. I mean, it's a good accident. It makes sense. They're so fast they run on water, right? It's like the cartoons.
I don't know.
It has. It's like was it something weird with their like spawn conditions or something? Because I noticed they would spawn in the water too. I think. Ah. They just run so fast that they clip out, right? That checks out. That sounds like Swift to me. That seems appropriate. Oh, well shit. I wasn't pulling the ones that I wanted to pull. So they can basically cover at a distance that gets them. What the fuck just happened? Right, non-flying monster generated and blah blah blah. All right. Oh, we need to get out. Need to get out. Oh boy. Cure the poison on you. Cure the poison on you. Cure the poison on you. How am I supposed to steal HP off of you if you're... Okay. We actually have enough that I think we can just share life right now. 24, yeah. And even if we didn't, just wait like a fraction of a second and it'll be fine.
It won't fit. Sorry. It won't fit. Sorry.
It's like they're just clipping into the water, and then once they're in the water, they're able to move freely. Because it's treated like a wall, right? Can the Swift monsters, like, clip through walls? Can they do the Flash stuff? I saw, like, one Flash comic when I was a kid where there was some dude who was not the Flash, but had, like, the Flash's power set, which I think is fairly like, I feel like that's the way that comics work, is that the character's always fighting against basically themselves, but in a slightly different colored outfit. You know, maybe that's like a commentary on imperialism and the life of a soldier or something. I don't know. Probably not anything that deep. But anyway, and he would, like, ran through a wall because he's like, oh, I can run so fast that this brick wall is no chance against me. And he just run and, like, phase through the wall. Like, he doesn't interact with it. He's like, oh, I'm so fast the molecules of the wall are not, and I'm like, I don't think that makes any sense. But also I'm 8, so what do I care? But then, like, on the other side of the wall, the Flash was waiting and was, like, just basically, like, smacked into him, because he's like, oh, yeah. You can't actually see the other side of the wall when you do that, though, so... GG, noob. Let's see. Oh, fail. And then science ruined everything.
It won't fit. It won't fit. Sorry.
Oh, they have a bunch of magic shit to justify the shenanigans. He's basically got like some sort of telekinetic like barrier around him that makes it so that he doesn't actually interact with the air around him at all, or something like that. So it like in the same way that like technically Superman is a psychic. Like, everything that Superman... He's not actually super strong. He's not actually anything. He actually emanates, like, a psychic field because it's the only way to actually explain his superpowers. And so that's the explanation in universe for his superpowers. Because obviously, like, you can't pick up a plane by the nose of the plane. Your hand just goes through the nose of the plane. Right? Like, there's no amount of strength that will let you do that because the structural integrity of the object you're carrying won't allow for it. Right? You can't do it. So all of those characters that basically defy the laws of physics in universe are defying the laws of physics. Like they're all magic people. They're not like they are aesthetically super strong, but they're not interacting with the universe in a normal way. Whereas like a lot of like and that's kind of the thing that separates them from the other people who are, like... Well, it's magic. I mean, it's a universe that has all sorts of people with magic in it, right? Like, half the characters are, like, wizards. So... But, yeah. Scientifically accurate hero. Ugh. Iron Man would die. Iron Man could not handle the G-forces involved in moving at half the speed that he moves. He would 100% go unconscious in 5 seconds and die in 10. No shot. No shot. That's the issue, right? Is that like it turns out that the limitations of our frail human shell are actually there's like a lot of them, and you don't think about most of them most of the time because you're not moving at Mach 4. But as soon as you start going slightly faster than you're supposed to, your body starts going, wait, no. Yeah, I think acceleration is, like, knowing anything about acceleration is kind of like the bane of, like, enjoying, like, of, like, being able to look at a superhero and think, yes, you could do that in the real world, is because, there's really not a difference between getting in a car crash and going 0 to 60 in, like, a fraction of a second and just having your brain hit the back of your head. Like, it's basically the same interaction. Come on, buddy. Did you die? I think you died. Okay, we need to get out of here. I'm going to cast this because you're going to come up faster, so that leaves you cast on you. Now we just spam the shit out of E. We can't spam E anymore. That's a concern. I can't let her get hurt one more time. Okay. I'm going to cast this with the presumption that I need it, because the alternative is to potentially kill myself. Whew. Fly is not unlimited in this zone, so it'll get dropped the second that I attack or they attack me. So, if I could fly, this would be a lot easier. Let's see. I'm just stuck walking. What was I looking for? Okay, preservation cells 4 hours. So, yeah, fly for this part, not as helpful as I'd like it to be. Invis is dramatically more useful than fly for this, just because as soon as I go to attack anything, I'm going to fall out of the sky. Even if I were to dodge everything, I'd still just fall out of the sky as soon as I attack, so... Okay, that's a concern. We only have, what, like 2 people poisoned right now? 3 people. I guess it's not 2 because I cured one. Though this, I will say, this is a good candidate for an area to have fly be unlimited. Because these islands are so rough. But it doesn't have any flying enemies in it, which seems to be the thing that makes areas be given the flying tag. So, since it doesn't have any flying enemies, I mean, rules as I've parsed from the way that the fly thing works, no fly for me. So, yep, we just have to slowly whittle our way through this. And we killing these little ones doesn't really do anything for us. But let's see here. I think I'm going to pop over here. Okay, so we got one of the Ether Lords down. That doesn't respawn. That's a good amount of damage as well that we're not going to have to take. I think you were poisoned, but I can't be sure. Okay, I don't know if you were poisoned or not. Yeah, you sure were. You sure were.
Sorry. It won't fit.
I guess I can have you heal as well. Alright. We're getting there. Slowly and not so surely, but we're getting there. We are getting there. We got a particularly rough pack here where we have a summoner and a venomous on the same island. Like, that's a pretty rough thing to have to deal with. Because venomous does just so much damage. We have an Ether Lord here. I think I'm going to dive it to try and burn it down. Please. Okay. I think I got one. I sure hope I did, because otherwise... Why did I think that I needed to cast a spell to get over here? That is clearly poison. It's 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. All is not well. Let's see. Are you poisoned? Oh, you sure are. Hey, you know, it happened while I was on my way out and not on the way in, so that's good timing to me, right? We didn't even die. We just came very close to dying. Okay.
It won't fit. It won't fit.
Yep. I have a tendency to spend the majority of my time in a situation where it's suboptimal to get completely just, like, shot down to, like, 2% life or whatever. So I think we are set. Let's cast a invis. And there's not a lot of convenient times to lose that much HP, you know? Alright, I'm going to try to burn through some of these while I'm on the water, and in theory there aren't going to be more spawning, so that I can have at least the start of the fight be a little bit more sane. But they have a lot of HP. Wait, do I not have anybody poisoned? I don't. Weird. Alright. We got in and out of there pretty smooth and with very little trouble. Alright, I think we did spawn more when we did that. But yeah, so the issue is that these things all will gravitate toward where they started. And, god damn it, I was hitting the wrong one. I thought the cursor was on you properly. We got the parrot. Oh shit, it spawned behind me! I got the stun, and it was not enough to, do much. Okay, I can't believe that I just started beating on the wrong target. I was in Viz. I had the ability to time that out correctly, and I just didn't.
What is it?
Alright, you know what I should do? Oh, this is me putting on my big brain.
I'll save us.
Trying to summon something on top of me. I won't have it. Okay. That was very close. Okay. Who else is poison? Probably all of you. Because that seems about right to me. Alright, well, we have a little ways to go here. Let's just start casting heals. It's not going to take that long. We have about negative 5,000 now. So it's 34 something. Oop, we're getting close. I'm going to cast one more of these, and then I think I can just do it. 1,000, 4,000. We're fine. Boom. Let's go.
It won't fit. It won't fit. It won't fit.
Yeah, the one advantage of not having everybody's HP be equal and to have a bunch on Korgrik is that when there's a bunch on Korgrik, I can always just share life if Korgrik's at full HP. That's not really true. It doesn't matter how low everybody else's max HP is. Okay. What was I doing? Invis. Alright, save it up. Did we get any decent... We got a decent amount of damage into the Venomous. So, if we can clear out just the Venomous... Oh god, there's so many that have spawned. Oh god. The issue is that the longer that we beat on these... Oh, you fixed shared life? Nice.
I've never seen one before.
I'm gonna get out of here because things are about to escalate into a very bad scenario. It's up to you, and you are poisoned, my friend, so you are not gonna live. Please stop hitting Korgrik. Okay. Okay, you were at negative 2,000. You're clearly poisoned. You are definitely poisoned. I think you're definitely poisoned, otherwise you would definitely not be in the negative. Hoo boy. So that's 4,000. Oh, we have a lot on you, actually. Okay.
Sorry. It won't fit. Sorry. It won't fit.
I am very happy with the party that I have. I feel like this party has come together quite well, actually. Like, as we're progressing into the late game stuff, like, we even have Levitate, which is just so good. Like, I couldn't do this without Levitate. Without Levitate, I'd be in deep shit. Let's see. Stats is in, like, base stats, or stats is in skills? I have 19 and 18. I have 12 points of leather now. I'm sitting on 7 axe. We got 10 bodybuilding. They have this 2,000 HP. They have a shit ton of spell points just from this axe that gives double spell points. Meh armor. And their overall vitality is, like, not that high, but they seem to be surviving okay. And yeah, the shaman is mostly healing right now. And that's because I'm dealing with, like, really, really hard shit that's dealing so much damage.
I don't know it.
That's just how things go, right? Like,
I don't know
even if you're not really built to do it, they are,
I don't know it.
what's the word? They're the one, right? So, I guess they're the I would say that they're the off healer, right? Like, they're the secondary healer in my party. They serve a very critical role within the party as that secondary healer. The main healer exactly is Korgrick. And weirdly enough, actually, because of the sort of like nature of the fights that we've been doing, Silria is actually kind of more of a like primary healer in combat. It's not as Silria is contributing more to the party's survivability technically when we're in like full durability mode by just using shared life to rip off of Korgrick. And then the 100 or so that I'm getting off of Kortal is like that extra bit, right? But like the primary thing is the shared life. And I'm pretty sure that like Kortal is actually technically out healing Korgrick when I'm going full like hold E down forever. When I'm holding E down forever, I'm pretty sure that he's doing more. But the smoothing out the damage is really important. Why am I just staying here? Why did I do that to myself? Please tell me you're not both poisoned. Okay, you're not both poisoned. Whew. On the negative side, Silvery is going to go very negative. But... oh! There we go. So we get to about negative 3,000 when that happens. No, not a new negative record. The record for negative, I think we got to like negative 5,000 from one of those dragons just pounding me into the dirt. Where it was, I think it was hitting for about 5,000 damage. So when it hit a target who had just been barely brought back to life, everyone was like at a sliver of HP, it would hit me and they'd go to negative 5,000. So we've gone pretty low, but I think that was the highest negative that I guess the lowest negative that we have in terms of absolute value. With the highest negative in whatchamacallit, in this encounter. Okay, we're getting out of here now. And we're going to cast Cure Poison on you just in case. Somebody's probably poisoned. And we're going to make the assumption that... Okay. I'm not actually doing a very good job of dodging. I'm spending a lot of time looking at my characters, and it's taking away from my attentiveness to the actual... I'm not looking at the projectile arc. That's why when it was only Korgrik left and alive and there was nothing I could do with my party, I suddenly started dodging way better. It's just because... I mean, first of all, it's just because Korgrik is awesome. But in addition to Korgrik being awesome, and me soloing with Korgrik, meaning that I take on some of that awesomeness, instead of my awesomeness getting averaged out between the awesomeness of the rest of the party.
I'm not sure what it is.
With me able to just completely focus on just that, it is a lot easier. And I'm gonna die. It took way too much time. But we did. Fuck. I fucked that up. That time, you know what? It turns out that the Korgrik explanation is actually the better explanation, because I could have just turned right at the end there and I would have been fine. I actually would have lived through that. Life is sad.
What is it?
Alright, we're going to try this again. It's very unfortunate that the Venomous just keeps diving into this. Oh, god damn it!
Ow.
We got nothing done. We got nothing done there. Okay. Well, on the plus side, we didn't take that much damage on the way out. Alright, let's cast Invis again. You know, we've gotten more use out of Invis in just this mod
I'm not sure what it is.
than... And the summoners are usually not that threatening. Look how many enemies have been spawned by the summoner because I have to deal with the Venomous first. Right? Like, the fact that this summoner is in play is really, like...
I'm not sure what it is.
Okay, we are gonna... Oh, God! Okay. Oh, Jesus! Wait, are you not... You are poisoned again, okay. We got the poison cure off as we went down. Let's go. Okay. So, how negative are you? 1,200? That's plenty. Okay.
It won't fit. Sorry. It won't fit. Sorry.
Whew.
Sorry.
But yeah, so all these little minions are starting to add up in damage, and it's interesting to see it. I'm it's gonna take a while for me to burn through all these minions, and I don't know. I feel like this is what I kind of expected out of summoners from the start, and then I just didn't ever really end up having that experience much. So I'm now experiencing the real, like, threat that you get when a summoner is just, like, free summoning on the back line somewhere. I wish I could rely on muscle memory, but I don't have good enough muscle memory to deal with the projectiles. The, like, little bit of homing that they have makes it so that my my really lazy runaway techniques don't work, and I have to be... Oh, can they summon multiple mobs on a single hit? That's really cool. And they can also hit you around corners, so it's not like you can, like, lock them out of using it. That's very cool.
I've never seen one.
Okay, buddy.
No.
Smack you in the ass. Oh, and I forgot to cast Preservation. I forgot to recast Preservation. God damn it. Life is sad. Alright. Invis. How long do we have on levitate? Oh, interesting. Levitation only is on the vampire for some reason.
I haven't seen it before.
Huh. The spell effect is fundamentally looks different than the typical for those kinds of spells. Let's see. Just getting my errors. Well, you know, that's 2 that are not spawning, so that's useful, right? Unless they do? It might throw that error in and they spawn anyway next to the enemy. I don't actually know. Let's see.
It won't fit. It won't fit. Sorry.
So...
I'm not sure what it is.
Okay, you're so close. We're so close. If we can get that one dead, then I think we can handle this area for long enough to
not sure what it
like
is.
start burning through these
sure
at
what
a
it
rate
is.
faster than they're being spawned.
I'm not sure what it is.
We got the parrot. We got to stop. Okay. You know, that was very dumb. I want to see a cloth cap.
What is it?
I want to see a cloth cap. That's what I want. So which one are you looking at? Which of the errors with shared life? Is this the Hades one, or is this the when you go below when it kills you? Are they related actually? I guess they could just be the same error. Now that I think about it, I didn't check. Let's see. It still kills you though, right? Because you go to negative HP. But it just doesn't like give you the error screen when it does you. Oh, okay, so it just won't kill you at all. Imagine. That's just... That feels, what's the word I'm looking for? Decadent. That feels decadent to have that. What a luxury. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah. Did I ever send you the actual like code for it? Like what the error code was? Yeah, it's weird. But I figure that probably it has to do with just the spawn,
Not sure
where it's
what
just
it
like they can't spawn on water because they're not supposed to be like. The game allows them to swim because it's easier,
I'm not sure what it is.
but they're not really supposed to be, right? Like they're supposed to be exclusive to land. So my guess would be that there's like some sort of like catch for it to not put them in there. But
No space.
I could be wrong. Okay. We got the venomous. Ooh, that's a great fix. Should we go for the summoner first, or should we go for the ads? I should go for the ads, because the summoner... Wait, it can spawn Ether Wards? Oh shit, never mind. I need to go after the summoner then. I thought I could only summon the top 2.
I don't know it.
Stop trying to spawn enemies up. Alright, we need to get out. We should be... No, we're not fine anymore. We killed So many enemies. Okay. I didn't realize that it could spawn Ether Lords, and those do enough damage that we're going to be in trouble. That was a pretty big hit. Right at the end there. Alright, I guess I should.
It won't fit. Sorry. Sorry.
We're fine. Save it up. We are low on mana, though. Alright. We're going to approach, and I do want to... Did I make any progress through the enemies? Not really. I'd say that just the existence of the one, like, mid-tier enemy is sufficient to count as, like, negative progress. The problem is that I can't approach... I don't want to approach this summoner onto the island and risk aggroing the enemies on the other side there. Oh, right. I just realized. Okay, I need to get some mana back. I just realized how low Cortal is. All right, how are we doing? All right, we got it pretty low. Let's see. And I guess we don't need Invis because we're going to just aggro some random thing. Oh, yeah. My recovery now is really, really fast. Like, the party recovers from problems so much faster. It used to be that, like, the party would recover really fast from problems if I had an enemy to beat on, right? Like, if I had an enemy to hit, I could recover very fast because so much of my, like, resource generation was tied up in on-hit effects, right? I had one meditation, so I'm not regenerating mana basically at all, outside of smacking things. And I had on-hit healing with the Seraph, and I had lifesteal with Severia. So, like, if I got into a weak fight, I could very quickly get back to a hard fight by doing a weak fight, which you see a bit of here. But now, for the most part, unless I'm, like, really getting, you know, the shit kicked out of me, I am able to recover very, very rapidly from much more intense situations just by walking away from them. And then even while I'm, like, in transit, I'm recovering, right? So I would love for you to get... I think I'm in range of the other islands. Oh, I'm boned. Okay, those are hitting a lot harder than I expected. Was I in range of that other island? I was probably in range of that other island. I'm going to stick to this bottom left corner here. This island is just full of fucking enemies now. Okay, let's try to burn the summoner. If I can get a para on the summoner... Yeah, we have too many enemies now. But on the plus side, we don't have... We don't have a... We don't have a venomous enemy, so we're going to recover even faster. I just wish that you didn't walk back to the center, because if it's in the center, I'm definitely going to have to fight the enemies on that other thing. Though probably what I should have done, that was dangerous. Okay, oh, you've already spawned two in my face. Okay, excuse you. Fuck. Quarter just taking the hits like a champ. Alright. Here we go.
Sorry.
Invis. Yeah, my hope is that by the time I get to the other like endgame areas, I'll be more able to reliably handle the stuff that's really just difficult for me generally. And we'll find out if that ends up happening. I don't like where you're standing right now. I'm gonna try to just take some pot shots and immediately leave. Because I know that I'm gonna have aggro from everything on the shore. So we don't need to worry about it too much. Just why did I say we need to do this first? Alright.
I don't know.
On the plus side, it's only spawned the one red. So oh, we got the para. Nope. It was just a stun, but that's fine. We got an extra round of combat into it. God, can you imagine like how much extra experience I'd get if these were actually spawning when they were like hitting me on the ocean? Because if they hit me on the ocean, they'll follow me, right? So they spawn on the ocean and then follow me, and then I just murder them solo, and we'd move on. I don't feel that bad about standing on the water to avoid getting the spawns, just because of the fact that, like, the more spawns there are, the easier the rest of the game's gonna be. Because these are really late game enemies. To have just, like, so many spawned, you know? Cast Invis, we're just going to walk right back into it. So we're almost done with the Summoner. Once we're done with the Summoner, we can
I don't know.
we can clear out the rest of this island, and then I think we'll have one of the harder areas to deal with done. Oh, did you walk across the water, actually?
I don't know.
Can I get confirmation on that? Do the summoners have the ability to summon the highest tier, or only the other two tiers? Because that's a pretty shallow, like, water place, and it's not that uncommon for... They can, okay. Okay.
No space.
When I saw how narrow that strait was, I was like, oh, they might have actually just walked across the strait.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
what
they
it is.
can't actually. Okay, so that probably walked across the strait. Okay, so it's still going to be a lot to burn through over there, but
It won't fit.
we won't have a big HP bar to work through. Time to start stream. Let's see. I thought I had seen top tiers spawn before as well, but it's also possible that, like, we're getting enemies from somewhere else. So, obviously I don't know what the code looks like. Because, like, this enemy being here would clearly imply, right, that, like,
It won't fit.
that it got summoned by this thing, because none of the other enemies have wandered over here. They shouldn't be able to get here. But the corner that we've got there, I feel like is a corner where something hypothetically could slip through. So I wouldn't be that shocked if it was just something from the mainland that like made its way over to the island.
I require assistance.
So, and the other situations have been hectic enough that I wouldn't necessarily say that I have confirmation. Oh, nice. Well, once I murder both of these, I'll probably update if you've posted that. Okay.
Not dead yet.
Starting to purge through.
Now. Ow. Now. Yes. Now.
Oh shit, wrong spell. Looting is very important. Oh! Yep, this wandered over from the mainland right here, so this is proof of concept that they're going to be wandering over from the mainland periodically. So we got a belt. Got some chainmail
Something.
that is not bad, but not interesting enough for me to worry about with my lack of investment into chain.
It's worthless. It's worthless.
It's a little disrespectful. Okay. So we're in the green on this island now. We can save the game. Let's take a look at what loot we found.
Not sure
We have a
what it is.
relic that I need to
Ooh.
do still. We have spell points, more spell points, and personality.
That's no good.
And we have a belt. Hey, body resistance. I like things with just straight body resistance, considering it's my lowest resist on so many characters. This is AC fire resistance. Did I have garbage belts? I think it was garbage necklaces, right? This is kind of a garbage belt.
No room.
There's no room.
No, won't fit.
Let's see. This is tempting.
Sorry.
I can't carry anymore.
Okay. I will hold on to that for later. Oh, right, I'm using the Scholar's Cap. I forgot. Okay, to give an idea of how well the dungeon went, after I broke through the initial room, I actually was able to equip the Scholar's Cap. The Scholar's Cap went on within like 3 pulls. I was so cocky. What am I doing? This is the most important item in my inventory. Wait. We need to do something quick. Was it green?
Great, now we can. Perfect mix.
Let's go. I reserve the right to take off the Scholar's Cap if I need to later. The Scholar's Cap cannot be a required item in this run. The run is not built around the Scholar's Cap. That's not what we're doing here. I need Just Camera to also have chat. I don't know why I didn't do that, but that's fine. Okay, so I'm going over to the linky links. And we are going to the code, and there's an update. Sudo spawnpoint.lua. Interesting. think that downloaded correctly. Looks like that if it didn't download correctly and any of these files are corrupted, it will blow up in my face when I try to open the game, I assume. There's this weird thing where sometimes the like unconfirmed like pseudo file when you download something just sits there on your files list for a while after the thing finishes instead of pretty much immediately turning back instead of, or disappearing. All right. So, in theory, we have shared life and enemy summon abilities fixed. That's cool. So we'll be able to have enemies spawn in the water with us. We've gotten enough for one level, it looks like. And we're using a Sunhammer of the Dragon because it's terrifyingly strong. You'd think that my inventory would be less full than it is because I just dicked around doing a bunch of inventory management stuff. But it's about the kind of inventory management stuff that I did, which is to say, stuff that doesn't reduce the size of my inventory. I'm going to try to just burn through some of these. If I get back far enough, hopefully... That's too many. We have the entire pack on us, I just realized. Even if they're only using ranged attacks, they're still too strong to be digging around with for that long. Oh, easily. There's no bag that I cannot fill. I am very good at accumulating random bullshit. I don't... Like, the thing is that... I'm going to be honest. I'm not this bad when I'm not streaming. When I'm streaming, I'm worse.
I don't know.
Because there's always that, like... There's, like, a little bit of tension at all times for me to, like...
I don't know.
Make sure that I'm doing something interesting. And bag management is not a thing that I like to do. So to me, it's not interesting. Even if people watching would much prefer it. So there's, like, this... sort of like intrinsic internal bias against spending time doing it, even when everyone would prefer that I do it, that doesn't exist as much when I'm not live, even though it's purely an internalized thing. It's not like anything that the viewers have suggested is a good idea. So, let's see. Yeah, see, I usually do that as well. I'm much worse at handling the inventory management aspect because of the fact that I have so much inventory space that I lose track of what's in my... I can't internally just have an idea of what's in my inventory because there's too much in my inventory at any given time. So I just forget that items exist and stuff like that. So like problems that already normally exist are like made worse when I have too much space to play with. Where are all the enemies that I hurt?
I haven't seen it before.
I see a lot of full
I
HP
don't know.
enemies. I don't see anything
I haven't seen it
that's
before.
injured. Really?
I don't know.
Is it all enemies in this pack or something? Okay, there's one. Okay, I'm gonna try to burn down this Ether Champion. That one's dead. I'm just gonna leave. I feel like I must have done more than, like, kill one enemy and no extra damage than that, but... I don't seem to have any evidence of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to pull this exploding Ether Lord. And hopefully we don't pull it with a bunch of enemies. Yeah, not being able to just drop meteor swarms from the heavens is pretty rough in this zone. Like, this zone is like a playground for, like, high-level spellcasters to, like, dick around with. Like, there's even, like, melee-only mobs in an exterior, like, late-game zone. Because behemoths are very unsuited for the outdoors. And so you can, like, just drop, you know, hellfire on everything. But the behemoths have range? Behemoths don't have range, do they? Do the behemoths have range in this one? Huh. I haven't been fighting them yet. Oh. I mean, either way. The projectiles don't generally hit you if you're flying. Fly doubles as a dodge all projectiles spell. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. There we go. Alright. So we got one of the lords down. It's a substantial reduction in overall damage intake. And we have mana to play with over here. I like to swap between the areas that I'm going to have to use mana in and the areas that I'm not going to have to use mana in. That's the...
I've never seen that.
Okay, so we're gonna just dive the ones that stay here. It'd be nice if I could get one of the reds, but I'm not going to, so we're just gonna burn through, hopefully, all three of these. We have too many showing up. We're getting out of here. We got disease. We ran into the wall. And heal our way up.
It won't fit. Sorry.
Is it weird that I periodically want to play Wizardry 8 again? Is that weird, considering that it's so slow and so painful to actually play? And, like, nobody wanted to watch me play it for any period of time. It is very funny how even with, like, the everything goes faster mod, everything is so slow in that game. You know what I should do? I'm gonna just pull some of these. No, I'm not. I'm gonna immediately have to go to the edge. Let's see.
I've never seen
Where
one
did you
before.
come from?
Ow.
Ooh, I might die. I'm in danger.
Looks like it's up to me. Ow.
How low are you, Ash? Not that low. Alright. So we're gonna go regen or mana by beating on one of these things over here. It might not be a good idea to try to regen mana off of a boss. We're gonna do it anyway. It's just one boss. It's not like it can AoE or anything. We don't need to look at what the affix on this thing is. It can't AoE, we know that. It's just one enemy. How could it AoE? What? This is actually gonna end fine. The explode effect doesn't do enough damage to bypass my my healing. Individually, these enemies are not that dangerous. It's just that there's really quite a lot of them in each place that I'm dealing with. So,
Now here's something.
ooh, very cool and very kind of useless, but not more useless than a staff that I'm not going to use. Not less useless, but also smaller. So, now that we've regened a bunch of resources off of a boss, we can... I find that for my party, exploding isn't a terribly threatening effect unless it's attached to an enemy that really, like, benefits from it, right? Like, an enemy with a really dangerous secondary effect, like exploding, is very, very bad for. But because of the fact that my party is generically pretty durable, I've invested into making the entire party tanky. Something that hits for, I don't know, what is it, like probably 20% of its base damage on the entire party is like, oh, it's doubling its damage, but it's like with a cover party, you care more about that kind of stuff than with a party that's just like everybody's durable and everyone's stealing the healing off of Korkrick. Though nobody even needed to steal the healing off of Korrick there because our passive healing was too high. MM8 Monstrosity Modeling. No, I have not. What is that?
Sorry. 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 It won't fit. Sorry.
Preservation should be recast. Haste is 6 hours. We should probably just recast it just for the hell of it. Oh. That might be interesting to try sometime. I'd have to figure out what I do it with. I guess it just plays a dragon. And I guess now the like party mod things are like an actual like that's interesting. Like a normal component of like it's like built into Greyface now, right? Something like that.
It won't fit.
So because Might Magic 8 is the problem that I end up with Might Magic 8 is that if I wanted a game that had like NPCs that I'm picking up, those NPCs are going to have like dialogue and personalities that I care about, which is generally not the case in this game. It's kind of fun to like go collect all the dragons, but like I don't really have that much interest in the NPCs in this, which is a problem for, you know, a game where you're actually supposed to pick up party members. So, whereas like I love the fact that you can like create your own party of like fully your own characters and stuff like that. Yeah, look, part of it's just that I'm a writer and I prefer my characters to other people's characters. That's part of it. I'm not gonna lie. That is a non-zero component of the reason that I struggle. But ignoring that component. Oh man. Okay, we are so close. Alright. This Ether Lord is about to die. We have another Ether Lord here. I need to get out. I need to get out. Okay. I feel like Shared Life is also not working on unconscious people even when it wouldn't kill me.
It's worthless.
There was a point where he was at negative 500 and we had plenty of HP on everyone else and it still ignored him. So that's going to make it a less consistent healing tool. I don't know why that would be, though.
It won't fit.
I don't know why that would be. So we're going to We can't stand in melee with these. These are predominantly melees. Like, they are predominantly melee. They don't attack as often at range, and I need to respect how much melee damage they can do if I just let them
It won't fit.
start wailing on me.
Sorry. It won't fit. It won't.
I should probably switch over to go regen some mana, but I'm not going to. I'm going to basically just try to burn through the rest of these. I'm going to pull. I keep forgetting that the wall's there. Got the para. If we just stay far enough out that only like one or two of them is going to be hitting us with melee at any given time, we're fine.
He's toast.
I just can't, like, literally go into melee range with 1,000 enemies. It just pops back in. But we need to make some space, by which I mean switch to an open inventory, which probably exists, right? Somebody's got to have an open inventory. There we go. Look at that. We don't have any problem with inventory management.
We could sell it.
So that's
Now,
okay.
here's something.
I don't think that's going to be
Now,
an
this
upgrade
will
over
do.
anything. Would anybody hire? Ooh, this is very good. It's a lot of regen. Sorry, not a lot of
I can't carry
armor
anymore.
class. This is my legendary. I don't need to move that.
No space.
We'll hold that on. We'll hold on to that for now. More of nostalgia
No.
for anything else. That is interesting. What are you wearing? Do I want to do this? Water is also your lowest resist. Let's go. Whoops. Well. Whoops. Whoops. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Let's recast preservation. And now we should be able to clear through these by just slowly approaching them and beating them to death, one pack at a time. And with this island cleared, we just have the one really dangerous island. And then, which might be the hardest island, I'm not actually sure. I think probably not, because the summoner really did add a lot of complications to the other island. If it was just two bosses, it would not have been nearly as bad as it was with one boss creating a problem where it's summoning 1 billion enemies. Like over time. Done. Nailed it. Let's see. Perfect. There we go. Actually, we have 2 islands left. I stand corrected. We have this little island that might be within range of the big island. So, that's concerning. I'm going to try to just burn through you. That was better.
Ow.
I switched not to even E, but to not even to S, but to actually just A, while I was still taking considerable damage from so many sources.
Now.
It's important for me to get the like pure like attack streams in whenever I can to maintain Cortal's mana pool. So it's very important to do that, but it's something that I have to measure out the appropriate time for. There's really quite a lot of enemies here. So I think what I'd like to do is not approach Invis, but actually approach Visible. Unless I've already put a bunch of them... Oh, shit. Unless I've already put a bunch of them in position. And let's see here. This one's kind of isolated from the others. Okay, we're getting out of here. And yeah, they don't attack anywhere near as consistently at range, which is good, and they hit way less hard at range.
Should sell it.
Oh, this is a... It's a weapon that exists. What was I looking for? Looking for this.
It won't fit. Sorry.
Okay. I don't like... I'm gonna get to this island if I can. Yes, we're gonna save on this island. I don't like saving over the water. Not for any particular reason, it's just vibes. I've played so many of these, like, old games, and I'm so used to, like, certain, like, protection, like, needing to protect myself against, like, the weirdest, like, jank. So, things like saving over water is like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That seems like maybe a no-no. Even though I don't think there's a problem with that. I'm pretty sure that I've never run into an issue with that in this game. It's just like the category of behavior that feels like I'm gonna ruin my save. I was like, I'm going to equip this thing. I'm like, no, I'm not actually. I'm not going to change the equipment. Let's see. There's so many of these things, and they all rotate by default back to the center. I want to try to burn this down completely. I'm not going to be able to. Getting all the way over to here just so that I can feel comfortable doing this.
It won't fit.
There's no room.
It won't fit.
We have plenty of regen to get us through this. Recast. Cure disease on you. Save the game. Cast Invis. Move over here. Save the game over here. And it's all gonna go fine. We got an Ether Champion pretty low. We got an Ether Lord. And by pretty low, I mean basically dead. Okay.
Ah.
Wow. Alright. Cast Invis. Save it up. And keep whittling through you. See, it's very funny because yesterday this felt like an arduous task that I could not like conceive of completing, and today it's just like, oh yeah, this is gonna take what, like maybe 15 minutes to clear through this pile of enemies. It's just interesting how,
It won't fit.
a weird night's sleep will... I would not say a good night's sleep. I slept in like 3 shifts. But a night's sleep can do so many wonders for you.
I don't know.
Let's see. I was so tired yesterday.
No.
And... I'm going to try to burn through this. It is parad. Okay, we started hitting at night, so we're not going to keep hitting it. And now is the time. We're going to go look for some more friends to play with. Ooh, we only have 3 hours left on regen. So let's cast a shared life quick. Plop you on.
Sorry.
1 day, 7 hours. And what else do we need to cast? I guess we can just cast Protection or Magic. Native. What else do we need? Preservation. And... haste. 10 hours. That's probably fine for me. Okay, we're going to beat up a thing, and maybe we'll beat up several things, depending on how many pull. But we're just trying to pull one. And I'd like to pull some of these, if possible, because these Eldritch Horrors are like a slog to beat through, because they just have a lot of HP. And I guess I could just put it on double speed while I'm fighting these. I don't like putting it on double speed when I'm in combat. I don't know why. It's just a vibes thing. I'm going to regenerate a bit more mana, so let's try to track one more of you. Look at that. Look at this beautiful pulls. Beautiful. Perfect pulling. Let's go. God, imagine if he still had the physical immunity, and I had to kill them with exclusively like the damage from elemental weapons, like I do in vanilla. Oof, real rough stuff. Like the gargoyles, where it's like, oh, okay, well, we have a diamond gargoyle. You know, you're going to be beating on it for 6 points of damage per round of combat. Good luck. No. You're thinking about it all wrong. Imagine if one had physical immunity and didn't spawn reflecting. It spawned as a summoner. That's the ticket. Like, if it spawns as a summoner and it and its babies are both immune to fucking physical damage, that's like a run ender. Right? Like I can't actually kill that many ads, like, ever. We'll run out of time. Like, I'm going to Japan next month on vacation, and like I'll still be fighting that enemy. Like, I'm sorry, Cuz. You have to go by yourself. I'm still fighting this enemy. Let's see. In a month, yeah. I'm just gonna be spending a week in Japan. 10 days, I think. Some number of days. We're going to a bunch of the parks and stuff. Oh, nice. That's very cool. Yeah, we're going to Oze, and we don't know where else yet. We know that we're going to spend at least a couple of days in Oze, but we don't actually have our plans yet. When I got back from Florida, I think Kaz was just like, yeah, Oze National Park. And when I got back from Florida, my wife was like, we're going somewhere in June. I'm not waiting to do something interesting. So that's the goal.
Now. This is my job. Now.
Well, she wasn't even there with me, right? Like, I was alone in Florida. She didn't even have to deal with Florida. So it's like you being in Florida sucked.
Sorry.
Yep. I was in Florida for 2 months.
It won't fit.
She was
It won't
in a sane place for that whole time.
I've never seen one before.
I think she was... like kind of offended almost that was what we had to like spend our travel budget on. Because going to Japan is actually cheap for us because we're not close. Cheap is not the right word. It's not super expensive. It's not like going to the Americas, right? Like the Americas are so fucking far away. So going to Japan is fairly cheap for me, and because it's right over there. It's just right over there. I think the tickets cost like a quarter as much to get there compared to getting to like Vancouver or something. Like really cheap. So, and then of course it's like the
I've never seen one before. What is it? I've never seen one before. Ow, ow, ow.
Someone heal me.
you know what it probably is. She's just like, your mom is constantly asking for pictures. We need to go someplace that we can actually... Oh, shit. Did I have a projectile hitting me? I didn't see a projectile on my ass. Okay, well, I clearly did not take that seriously enough. Whoops. I didn't think I was in any danger there. And then I got clipped from behind by a projectile that I didn't notice. I was like, okay, yeah, we have enough projectiles to coming in to knock some people out, but not everybody. And then, nope. They got us all. Yeah, we've cleared through a decent portion of this pack now. Things get easier from here on out. Let's see.
I haven't seen it before.
There we go. More lord down. How long can we stand in non-needle range? A while, but not that long, actually. That was more dangerous than it needed to be. But I could probably... Nope. Imagine if they were hitting me slightly less hard, and I decided that I could handle that. 3 a.m. really sneaks up on you, you know what I mean? Like, that was a little bit more intense than I would like. I'm like walking away from the fight after having just been like, maybe I should stay in. And then whew, the foresight that I have. I'm just so smart.
Oh.
I'm just such a genius. Let's go. Mash, you're like a thinger, right? It's a lot of might. It's not a lot of damage, but it's a lot of might. Okay, so
It won't fit. Sorry. It won't fit. Sorry.
There's no room.
the 3 a.m. can't hurt me. It's not real. Okay. So the next 3 a.m. we're going to start dealing with death. So death is going to start proccing next time, because I think death and insanity are both on day 3. It varies a bit. I think it's from training. It takes 3, which I believe is what we are coming off of right now. Levitate 5 hours. We're fine. Alright. But yeah, I'll look into identify monster once I have trained up. Or once I've gotten to a town, I guess. This is a bad idea. Why am I standing in the middle? Okay, we got one of the big ones down. We need to back out. I need to not just take the hits. Like, sometimes I just start walking out and I just eat the hit. I don't actually need to cast Invis. We're going to grab one more Eldritch Horror, and then I think we can clear the rest of this pack. Man, just think how much faster this would have gone if I had spent an hour yesterday clearing through some of this stuff. So, we've got... whatchamacallit?
Jump.
Don't remember what I was saying. So we've got this pack, and then I think everything else should be like fairly consistent. Just like pull a mob, pull 3 mobs, pull 10 mobs, pull however many mobs I'm going to pull, and just work them down. I don't think 10 mobs is going to be the number of mobs that I'm working with if I'm staying alive, but you never know. Okay, we're getting out. Okay. How are we doing here? I guess we don't have the mana to burn through the rest of them. So yes, we will go pull one more Eldritch Horror. And then I think we're going to get actually to like full mana again. Not full, but we'll get to like 60% or something like that. I think if we get to like 60% mana, we should be... I should have backed up immediately. It's fine though. Preservation is plenty of time. I'm gonna burn down the Nightmare first. I actually don't know like which one's which. Wait, why am I beating on the top? Oh, right. When I hit... I think when I hit E, it doesn't necessarily hit the target. Nope, even when I'm A. Oh, is it out of range? I think it's out of range. I should just be using my old tactics. I don't need to do any of this fancy mouse cursor bullshit. Just shove your face at the enemy, and then you'll hit the enemy. Fear, Terror, Nightmare. So Nightmare is the highest tier. Huh. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna burn through the Nightmare here. Let's see. go. There we go. So we're back up to mostly full resources. We can go ahead and invis. And anybody useful? I'm going to go after the one that's on the coast because I should always be going after one that's on the coast. Not close enough. Okay, we might be able to make this work. We just got the Seraphil. The life-saving thing. So we don't have that for a couple minutes.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Cleared through it.
It is defeated.
Life is good. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. How long did that take?
Jump.
How long was I fighting that pack for?
This is good.
Wasn't too bad. How long have I've only been live for 2 hours, so that pack couldn't have been that long.
This is good.
Let's see. Oh. Just drop the broadsword in the ocean.
Won't fit.
Interesting. Why do you have so much power relative to
I have too much.
Interesting.
No room.
Alright, we'll hold on to that for now. Let's see. Oh, I had a weird question. Is Malika still around? I noticed something weird yesterday when I was doing my gearing, where it looked like an item was giving me resists that doesn't have any resists or luck on it. And is that is the armor, like the base armor of the item, giving a portion of that base armor as resists as well? Is that how that works? So like base armor also adds to your... Okay. Good to know. Look. Reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is a difficult thing. It's not like I read constantly. Which is true, actually, because I like very specific authors. And they're extremely prolific, so they write a lot of stuff, but it's not literally enough to read, like, 10 or 15 pages every single day when you're occasionally reading several hundred. Truly revolting. Lazy. Yep, there was a shared life not doing its job. Yep, okay. We're gonna need to do something to get you up. Interesting. It was at negative 1300. Everybody else was at full HP, so we had. So I don't think it's tied to like the ratio. It might just be if the total negative is
Victory is ours.
like 1,000 or something. Because it doesn't happen consistently when they're unconscious. It's only happened a few times. But it doesn't seem like it's related to the ratio between the living and the dead. Okay, So we cleared that. Let's keep clearing this mountain range. Do we think we can find something like super scummy to speed this up? Now that we just have like slow single target pulls that aren't going to be like difficult, but are... I think I might want to fly around and look for something really scummy to do. That might be fun. Okay, I'm going to first fly over here just to aggro some of these. No, I'm gonna look for something scummy. Let's find some bullshit I can do. So unless they do shoot. Wait, is it only when I hit? Does fly not? Are you scummy enough? Not scummy enough. Not scummy enough. Oh boy. But can I get you stuck inside? Oh, you won't climb up. Oh, you might. Sometimes you will. Alright, let's go over to this side, and maybe the others won't come up. No giant... It's not highlighted! Oh shit. Oh, shit. We're fine. We're flying away. This is fine. Let's see here. So now that we've accumulated every single enemy here... Unfortunately, the shield isn't that great. Oh, shit. Oh, I killed myself. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm going to basically try to... I'm going to do it using... I'm going to have to actually use fly properly to make this work. But I think we can make this work. So we're going to grab you. You're probably going to get confused and leave. We're going to grab all of you. I don't have to worry about you. And then... Don't you jump out at me. Oh, I can hit them through it. Oh, it's so rude. Oh, that's so mean. Oh, who's hitting me? You know, is this a pack that's too big for me? Oh, it certainly is now. That was funny. I think that was another pull that I saw in the distance that I don't think I noticed in the distance later. So let's go grab that pack as well to make sure that we're not causing problems for ourselves. Okay. So we're grabbing you. There's clearly potential here, absolutely. But see, here's the thing. We've only aggroed some of these now. If we go here, those are walking away instead of toward us. Alright, I just need to keep an eye out for stragglers, because I don't know where they came from. I wasn't looking at my minimap just now. Also, how are we doing on preservation? 46 minutes? That doesn't sound great. That sounds, in fact, suboptimal. Oh, so mean! Not really still dealing with slugs, because we were dealing with, for the first couple hours, we were dealing with the Death Knight things. So, now we're dealing with the slugs, and it's actually going to go pretty fast, because, sure, they resist 2/3 of the damage that I'm dealing with every single hit, but I can just sit here and hold A forever, and just sort of like cleave through them. So we should be able to deal with this pack, which is probably like, I don't know, maybe 20% of the terrors left in the zone. Yeah, there are occasionally periods where the enemies have line of sight and you don't. But it's not common. And I guess it basically just has to do with like predominantly it just comes down to the fact that like they are, I think, attacking from the center of their hitbox, right? They're attacking from like a specific point. You're generally, for most enemies, able to hit them anywhere on their sprite. And so you will have line of sight more frequently than them, because I'm just a point in space, right? Like, I think I'm only one point in space. And they're represented by lots of points in space. But their ability to hit you isn't based off of all of those points at the same time. So I would guess that that's the reason. Bear in mind, I have never tried to program anything like this, so I'm spitballing on what my assumptions are. And you know what they say about assumptions? When I make them, they're always correct and they're always good. That's what they say about assumptions. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like there's probably quite a lot of parents who basically that is what they told their kids about assumptions. Well, what I mean to say is that, like, I'm spitballing without having done a similar task, so I'm working from a place of particular ignorance in this case, if that makes any sense. So, as opposed to, like, something where it's like, well, I don't know for sure, but I have a degree of expertise on it. I don't have any expertise that would inform me on this, other than doing bullshit like this for 30 years. So, doing bullshit like this for 30 years and having a vague idea. Indeed. Well, you know, this feels like a victory lap to me. You know, the fact that you don't get knocked out of fly when the enemies hit you really does change things. I thought that you got knocked out of it when enemies hit you or when you hit them. That changes life by a considerable margin. Oh man, the shield is really... You know what? It turns out the summoner wouldn't be the biggest problem. The reflector would be a bigger problem. I think the biggest problem, though, at this point would probably be adamantite. If these were immune to physical, adamantite would still... Or, not regenerator, because you'd hit them 6 trillion times and the regeneration would basically cease existing. So I think adamantite would probably be the worst. Because you wouldn't have to worry about the summons. Yeah, though a lot of stuff in gaming stuff is fairly predictable, right? Like, sometimes it's fairly predictable. Like, when you're doing, like, just calculations, like, it's fairly easy a lot of the time to reverse engineer what, like, the damage formula must be. Depends on how complicated the damage formula is, obviously, but for a lot of games, the damage formula is simple enough that over the course of the game, you'll kind of, like, get a pretty good idea of what the formula looks like. And then you look at the actual formula and you're like, wait, that's what it looks like? That's fucking wild. Alright. I'm thinking of Breath of Fire 3, where I thought I had a pretty good idea of what it looked like. And then somebody, like, ripped the code out, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? That's what the code looks like? This is madness. Let's see here. How much experience have we gotten? We've now gotten 2 levels worth of experience. So these Eldritch horrors that we're just killing on this shield is doing wonders for us right now. Oh man. Well, oh yeah, 100%. Like if you look at old Final Fantasy games, like nothing works. Like it's really wild how there's just bizarre shit in them that just is like Final Fantasy VI. Famously, the evasion formula was coded wrong, so magic evade is used for both physical and magic damage. So magic evade is all that matters, and the blind status effect doesn't do anything because the like formula for hitting with like physical isn't active for anything. And there's enemies that blind the whole party that in theory should make the fights behave very differently. Doesn't matter. Doesn't function. It's just fun stuff. Because everyone's just like putting stuff together, flying by the seat of their pants, right? And everybody had their own, whatchamacallit? Everyone had their own, I mean, to be fair though, Diablo 4 is Diablo 4. Like that was a game that was designed by committee. And I'm pretty sure that they fired 80% of the staff that were working on it halfway through development of the game. Given how many layoffs Blizzard has done in the last 3 years. But, like, even games that didn't have, like, troubled development would end up with problems like that because of the fact that you would be, it would just be like, oh, well, how would we know that this piece of code had gotten fucked up? Because it wasn't immediately obvious, and we didn't have the time or the resources to test it. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Holy shit, that's wild. That's wild. Makes sense, though. You know? I'm certainly putting effort and interest into making sure that, I'm not doing things as inefficiently as humanly possible when I'm writing my code. But when I'm working on a project, I will say that making sure that I'm using the most efficient style of function that I can is definitely not taking precedence over getting something written. And, back in the day, I don't know, man. Though I guess that was fairly recent, right? Like Pokemon that was like in the 90s or something, right? I guess I should probably beat on the enemies that are actually fighting me, huh? Am I in danger here? A little bit of danger, not a lot of danger. Yeah, the advantage, though, of all that, like, cobbled together stuff where everyone's building their own system, like, every single time, the advantage of that is that different games actually feel different from each other. Yeah, 98 is so late. That's a fairly recent game from the context of my memory. Like, I was 13 when it came out. Jesus. But the advantage of having everybody building their own thing is that, like, there's a lot of problems with, like, the Unreal Engine that I see in every game. because it's built into the engine that they're using. And even games that don't feel aesthetically similar at all are all built off of the same engine. So I immediately get sort of like pulled out of the experience when I run into like specific like interactions with my environment where I'm like, oh, well, okay, I guess I'm playing every other game that has been built in this engine for the next 5 minutes. Let's see. Yes, that is also true. That it's kind of a luxury to do it. Those are less the kinds of problems that I'm running into when I'm doing my development. God damn it. Because it is, for me, it is more just like, I need to... I don't know the solution to this problem that is elegant and efficient, but I know a thing I can do to bullshit my way through it. And depending on my energy level, I'm going to pick one of those two options. Either I'm going to research how to do it correctly, or I'm going to pull some bullshit. And even if I research how to do it correctly, I'm not necessarily going to do the research correctly. Let's see.
This is good.
Ooh, I actually really like these. I have a lot of characters that are low on body resist. So we will hold on to these. We don't need these. So let's get over here. We might actually finish things up. We have 3 hours to clear... No, we won't be able to finish everything today, I don't think. I was hopeful that we'd be able to finish everything, but... We have, like, what, 4 dungeons to do? No, we have 5 dungeons, right? We have 5 dungeons to clear. Plus the rest of the exterior. The dungeon, most of those dungeons are pretty small. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not doing any kaizos or anything like that. The thing I'm working on is in Ren'Py. I'm not doing anything that I would actually play on a stream. I off stream I do a lot of like math heavy bullshit where it's like I'm making spreadsheets and tracking variables across the game. Like that's what I like. I don't usually do it with visual novels. It didn't occur to me, because there's not a lot of visual novels that actually take advantage of the fact that they're written in Python and you can just do all the math and you don't need to worry about graphics or anything like that. So, but like, so it's kind of interesting actually, because I feel like a lot of like the more math heavy shit seems to be weirdly built in like RPG Maker and shit like that, despite the fact that like Ren'Py is kind of just better for it. Because it's like RPG Maker and stuff like that, it's such a pain in the ass to try to do anything like math heavy. Like it's a pain in the ass. Though to be fair, this might be the aphantasia talking, but I actually like really don't like the like object-oriented programming environments that are all like a bunch of fucking windows and keeping track of things in physical space and bullshit like that. I can't wrap my head around it. Part of it's just me being old, So, like, object-oriented programming was, like, the hot new shit when I was doing programming, not, like, a thing that everyone was just doing all the time. But also, I'm now realizing that the aphantasia probably affects the way that I interact with that kind of stuff.
Great.
Objects are a lot harder for me to parse than math is. Is that true? I have lived through the rise and fall of object-oriented programming. Everyone's too much of a hipster now for object-oriented. Like, I comprehend the utility of it, right? To some degree. But it's actually kind of weird. Yeah, I only ever worked in C++ and Python in school. I loved Python, and then promptly stopped studying programming and switched to business.
We got it.
I don't even remember why. Why did I switch to
This
business?
is nice.
No, I didn't switch to business. What did I switch to? What was... I don't even remember what my major was. This is another thing that has body resistance on it,
Jump.
which is a lot better than something that has nothing on it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think that I did anything with Lua, but again, bear in mind, I've never really made any major projects. I've dicked around with plenty of projects, but I've never finished a proper project in any language. I'm talking from the perspective of dicking around doing homework in college, not like, well, and making random projects that don't go anywhere. So, I am the worst kind of person. The person who has a little bit of knowledge from 20 years ago that was never very robust in the first place. But hey, I know that that's the case. I'm aware of it. So, I try to avoid making too many, explicit, like, oh no, I'm pretty sure it works like this because I have a programming background, so I know what I'm talking about. It's like, okay, you took half a dozen programming classes in 2002. That's not true. I did take them in 2002. I'm not that young. I mean, I was taking programming classes in 2002, but that was high school. I don't think that even counts. That was in like basic and shit like that. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, the nice thing is that RenP is built on Python, so I'm not having to add anything like to it, and I'm able to use something that I'm like, I feel like I remember how this works. And it's like, no, I don't remember how it works, but I remember vaguely the shape of things, right? So it's convenient for me to just go straight to the thing that I'm a little bit more familiar with. more from a perspective of, because like it's not like I remember the syntax very well, right? But like at the very least, the structure of things is similar to the structure of things that I'm familiar with when I think about programming. Whereas a lot of these, like, a lot of the programming environments that I've seen, some of them in, like, college, were just so alien to me, like, that I just, like, I look at them and I'm like, I don't know how I'm, like, oh, I was trying to do something in Unreal at some point, I think. I don't remember what I was trying, oh, right, I was trying to mod, like, Arc or something. And I was basically just trying to do something really simple in Arc, which is just take an item which had gotten broken in one of the patches and never got fixed because people didn't notice that it got broken because nobody plays that way. Basically, the club was changed at some point to match the stats of the club in, like, the primitive mod on the main game. But in the primitive mod, the club gets upgraded to other things later on, whereas it's the only melee, like, bludgeoning weapon that, you know, does incapacitation damage in vanilla, right? Like, it's the only one in the game. So they, like, have the value on it, which means that it's like functionally useless. And anyway, so I was trying to mod that back to be its original value, because I was just looking at the ratios on everything. I was like, this is clearly incorrect. What type are you? I didn't even notice. Oh god, you're adamantite. Okay, well, we'll be here a while, but I think I can just beat on you immediately. I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to do anything special for you. I could be wrong. You know what I do? I do need to do something special for you, which is I need to cast Preservation. So let's do that right now. We're going to cast it with you. It doesn't need to last a billion years. It just needs to last through this fight. You know, I'm beginning to think, nah, we'll be fine. Yeah, with all of, like, the weird, like, nested classes and things like that, I don't even know that classes is the correct word. I do apologize. I'm going to use words that are adjacent to the correct terminology that are just, like, what's the word? Synonyms that are synonyms for the correct words, because, again, one of the issues that I have with programming, and this is a big issue, is that I have never talked to anyone about anything that I have ever been working on at any point. Like, I never have to communicate what my code is and what it does. I haven't had to since college. I don't remember any of the terminology. I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. I remember, like, recently I was working on this thing and I was like, I don't remember how to do this thing, but I'm pretty sure that I can do this thing. And I was asking a person who's a friend of mine who's in actual computer science, like, I'm trying to do this, and I'm pretty sure that there's a way to do this. And I had just described a function. And I couldn't remember the word function. I had forgotten the word function, so I couldn't Google it because I couldn't remember the word function. And all I was asking was, like, what's the word for this thing that I'm describing, so I can Google it and figure out how to do it on my own. And it's like function. It's like, oh, fuck. Okay, I remember this word now. That sounds familiar. Yes, I'm describing a function. Thank you. I'm good at this. Yeah, man, use it or lose it, right? Oh god. Oh, so anyway, what was I saying? Oh, right. So when I was, like, looking at trying to figure out, like, how... Oops, that wasn't the right spell. How to do the thing that I was trying to do, I could not parse it. Like, the number of places that this like, this club was defined in the code, like the number of like nested classes that it was tied to, and it's like, and a lot of them are like overwriting each other in weird ways where it's like, okay, well, we're going to set a baseline value for this. Also, everything's a gun because it's Unreal Tournament, right? Like it's it's in the Unreal Engine. Everything is a gun. Like as far as the code's concerned, it's all a gun. And like it was bad. It was not optimal. Did I literally let my haste wear off like some sort of person who lets haste wear off? Okay. I mean, yes. I'm the parent. There were parent and child classes involved. Yes, so I was right with the word class. There we go. But the thing that was weird about it, right, was that like I actually couldn't find where the information I was looking for was defined at all, because it wasn't in the class hierarchy anywhere I could find. Like if I went to the smallest child or I went to the largest parent, I could not find code that corresponded with what I was looking for. It was so bizarre, and I don't so like there was like presumably some other hierarchy of classes somewhere else completely that was defining a different component of the object that gave it the actual statistics that it was supposed to have or something. It was weird. The whole thing was very bizarre, and I was like, you know what? This is a real pain in the ass to try to work with. I don't think I need to work in the system. And part of that is down to the way that Unreal is designed and the way that like my brain works. And part of that is almost certainly that Arc is garbage and it was programmed by like crazy people who, like aliens who do not communicate or have any desire to make their code comprehensible. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, mostly the reason that I don't like object-oriented programming is because I'm bad at it, and I'm a hipster. That's me. That's me. I don't have a good reason. Why am I taking so much damage? Actually, you know, I'm not giving these guys very much respect, but I feel like I'm giving them the respect they deserve, which is very little. This is just 3 mid-tier enemies.
Useless.
But, you know, apparently I was wrong. I wasn't giving them the respect they deserve. Oh, it's because you're right. You're right. That's what it was. This is going to fix everything. Everything's going to be fine now. And I proceed to take no damage. It's, you know, look, Torchlight, best spell in the game. Best spell in the game.
Now here's something.
It does. It's like luck at Icewind Dale. That's true. It is basically the Godlight. Speaking of gods, Day of the Gods is still active, and so is the other stuff. We're fine. We're gonna go insane or die well before we. Speaking of which, when are we gonna go insane or die? We can hover over the minimap or something. No. Oh, there we go. If we hover over the minimap and not right-click, then we can see it. So it's 9:02. Oh shit, I went too far forward. That's a bunch of weaklings. Let's do it. Let's dive into melee range. We'll miss our first set entirely because I attack before I get into melee. Oh, there's actually an Eldritch Lord. Or whatever it's called. Ether Lord, Eldritch Lord. No. That's not how faith should work. If faith is a skill, what it should do is it should say that it buffs your party, but it actually does nothing. You had the description backward. That's the utility there. Like, that's how you do it. You give it a bunch of like, oh man, it would be so funny. Look, I'm just spitballing for like a game that wants to really be mean spirited to its players and do bad things that you should not do. I'm not encouraging making this game, but I am encouraging making this. You could make it so that I'm trying to remember what it is, but it's in Rogue Legacy. In Rogue Legacy, one of the things that you can get makes it so that like all the numbers get exaggerated, right? I don't remember what the actual effect is, but it's like something basically all the damage that you take and all the damage that you give out is like increased by like orders of magnitude. But it doesn't actually change anything mechanically. It's just lying to you. The numbers on the screen are lying to you. And it would be really funny to do that with a stat like Faith, where you put the points in, and on your stats screen, the points change your stats. You can see them changing your stats on the stats screen. Your actual stats have not changed. So you're fully hallucinating the effects of this Faith thing. Look, I wouldn't do that because I just wouldn't. I don't know. Oh god, it's a fucking thorn. Oh man. Well, at least it's not one of the ones on the islands. I agree. I've seen games where that's the case. Not like deliberately necessarily, but like I've seen games where there's a stat that's like, this doesn't seem that relevant, but then if you invest heavily into it, it's like, oh, okay, well I'm basically invulnerable now. There's like I appreciate that as well. I do think that it would be fun. I guess it's kind of like the I think it's the Cursed Shield, right? In Final Fantasy VI? Look, I haven't played that much Final Fantasy VI. I reference it a lot because it's a game that has done a lot of cool shit and also a lot of dumb shit. So, look, it gets referenced a lot. I didn't actually play it as a kid. I played it after I played Final Fantasy VII. And you know what's interesting? The first RPG that I ever played was Mario RPG. That was the first RPG that I ever played. And I'm so happy that I did, because it was so good. It was so good. Let's see. I think that having charisma act as a taunt, like the enemies automatically like default to going after you, makes a lot of sense. I actually really like that idea. You're just gonna walk over the side, aren't you? Okay, I need to fly. Let's try to get you stuck in there. Yeah, but like it was, I was like in a whatchamacallit. Can you please? Hello. Thank you.
Ow.
No, I need you to come this way. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, okay. Please. No! God damn it. Got too far. Come on, buddy. Yeah, now just come right into the middle here. You know what? Close enough for no rock. Alright. We're gonna see if I can just do this. And I think I might... be okay. No, we're definitely gonna need to throw out some actual healing here.
Now.
Look how far we have come, though. Like, holy shit.
I'm not sure what it is.
We were able to, like, beat down by a considerable margin. Yes. Do your thing. It's very exciting. Okay, fall off. Thank you. Come inside, please. Okay, let's get you to the middle, can we? Can we not? Can you not go any deeper? Oh, sticks red. And you just rotate straight over here. You know what? This is a bad idea. Let's get out. I sadly, like, never got to play D&D as, like, an actual young person. I guess it depends on your definition of young person. I never got to play it as a kid because nobody was playing D&D. I played it once. One of my... I hesitate to call them a friend. We kind of... I would say that at the time we thought we were friends, but I don't think we were friends. We were just two people that existed in similar social spaces who did not really get along very well, and I don't know that we ever really liked each other very much. But we were often in the same spaces. At any rate, so whenever they had some nerdy shit that they wanted to do, I was like their go-to person to try to figure out what the fuck it is. Because, like, I think that they wanted to be cool or something. And so, like, they didn't... Like, their friend group was not, like, the nerds. So they didn't have anybody to play stuff with.
Now here's something.
And anyway, weird dynamic. I don't remember the details. I was like a kid. But anyway, so they at some point got the I like it. They got the red box, the, like, you know, the basic starter D&D thing, and I DM'd for them and whoever else was around. And it was a very interesting experience, because it was like everyone was like they didn't really get the concept of D&D very well. Did I drop it above me? I think I did. And so there was a point where, like, an enemy got, like, a critical miss, and I basically described it as them, like, cracking their halberd or something like that, right? It was like a knoll, I think. And the person, like, the person was like, yeah, is that in the rules? You should look at the rules. I don't think that's in the rules. It's like, they got a nat 1 and broke their halberd. Like, they're gonna do less damage to you. This is good for you. Right? So that was my first time playing D&D, was dealing with a rules lawyer who did not know the rules. And also inventing a fumble mechanic without ever having heard about a fumble mechanic before, but only applying it to the enemies. Like, I wasn't gonna tell the players, oh great, your weapon's broken because you rolled a nat 1. Like, it wasn't like a codified thing. It was just like part of, like, the way that I was describing this one attack. Anyway, whole thing was very wild. I didn't actually play D&D until, like, years later, when I dated someone who played it, and I started playing it online for a while with them and their group, and I had a good time. I wasn't a DM at that time. And then after that, I thought it was a really interesting game and system. So I would build like, I played like Neverwinter Nights and stuff like that, and I played Baldur's Gate, obviously. I say obviously because a good portion of the content on my channel is Baldur's Gate, but that was a long time ago. I guess it wasn't that long ago. It was probably only a few years ago. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I need the other lord to go down. That's not the other lord.
Help!
Let's see. Let's see. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I think that D&D is fun to do like crunchy math stuff with. And but I think that other systems are probably better for like, because D&D kind of holds this weird place in between being like a Warhammer style like miniatures like war game and being like a narrative experience. It's got this weird thing where it kind of tries to do both at the same time. And I kind of like that liminal space. I like that, we're doing kind of both of these things and it's kind of fun and cool. I like that. But I feel like for a lot of people who are playing like D&D, they'd honestly be better off playing either Warhammer or like Kids on Bikes or Kids on Broomsticks or something like that, because like they're really looking for one of the two, not both, right? And again, this is might be just thinking like D&D is in this weird space in between these two kind of like extremes. And to be fair, so is Kids on Broomsticks is also in between. It just is more toward the narrative side and less toward the crunchy math shit. But I feel like when I'm playing with most of my friends, I feel like most of my friends would probably be better suited to playing something like Kids on Brooms, because they don't actually care about like the nitty gritty number shit that's involved in D&D, and I actually think that like it makes more sense for them to play something that's more like approachable, because I end up having to do a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of like, well, how does my shit even work? And it's like, okay, well, as someone who's, been in the fringes of this community for the last 6 trillion years, speaking of those inopportune 3 a.m.s, what time is it? 2:53. So we didn't lose that much time, but okay. But that does tell us that we are approaching the death field. Yeah, but for me, I love to mix the two. Like, one of the things that I find fun is like building a character based off of like the weird nitty gritty elements of the system. Like that's like a particular joy of mine. So like, shockingly, based off of the content of this channel, like no one could have predicted. But like, so like having like my weird magical string theorist character who is a sorcerer that is kind of like no one can even tell whether they're a paladin or a wizard because they're just kind of weird. It's like, is this character like a multi-class paladin wizard or something? It's like, no, this character's actually a sorcerer mechanically. Yeah, they're like a scholar, and yes, they don't have any charisma, but you know how it is. Nitty gritty. Let's see. Oh, that's very cool. I missed the part about mouse. got distracted by dying. Okay, do we want to... We're gonna do it. It's gonna be great. We're gonna get all of you. We're gonna get all of you. This is not gonna kill me. This is gonna go great. This is gonna go perfectly. We're gonna get this whole fucking pack. We're gonna drag this whole fucking pack. Now that we've done proof of concept, the behemoths are not actually that strong. So I'm not that like concerned with like preserving the, you know, sanctity of their fights. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just drag them all under this shield just to save time. Because it's 10:41 and I would like to finish some of the dungeons. Let's see. Yeah, I should really write out some of my systems in advance. I haven't because that would make too much sense, but yeah, like plotting things out on paper is good. It's just like storyboarding, right? Like, I guess it's not quite just like storyboarding because like programming is not as intensive. Like if you're like programming in a system is not as crazy as shooting a scene or drawing a whole scene. So it's like it makes some degree of sense that people are just like, nah, you know what, fuck it, we don't need to write things out in advance or anything like that. Like I can see where people would get that, but it is still it's way worse to fuck it up if you do it not on paper but with the actual like scripting in the final product, or not even, but in like your builds or whatever, right?
He's toast.
There we go. Ooh. Got a ring that we can't identify without equipping.
Now this will do.
It's mind.
No space.
Wait,
Sorry.
what? I randomly equipped this for some reason.
There's no room.
My pack's full.
Very smart.
Won't fit.
Let's see. Especially if you have more than one person involved. If you're just inconveniencing yourself, it's what your workflow looks like is less relevant. I'm very bad at making outlines of things, just generally. I don't work well in groups, but I'm not a good team player. What was I saying? I got distracted by shit talking myself. I shouldn't say that. For accurately describing my... God damn it, I forgot to cast preservation. Let's see. Never let two programmers in the same room together. They're not allowed to see each other. Ooh.
We got it.
I also do think, though, that part of that is that, like, I think part of that has to do with, like, the people that are encouraged to go into computer science not being... So you are hitting pretty hard, actually. It's like people who are already socially maladjusted are then told, go into computer science, because then you never have to deal with people. And it's like, no, the entirety of computer science is collaborating with other people on projects, which is one of the hardest social things to do, is to work together on a creative project. That's so fucking hard. Like, it's so hard to do, right? It's like very difficult, like, as a social thing. It requires very advanced social, capacity to be able to do that. Because everyone thinks that their idea is the best. That's the default state of humans. And so it's like, I feel like the field is in some ways getting, like, set up to fail with regards to, like, that kind of thing, where it's like, there's plenty of people who are,
I don't know.
the skill sets that you're told you need are very different than the skill sets that you actually need. It's like, we were working together on a project. Ah, by that you mean that it's a race to see which one of us can fix this problem first. No, the two of you should be collaborating. What the fuck do you mean? What is a collaboration? I don't think that's a word. That's not a word. You're making shit up now. Oh, that's not the right spell.
I've never.
I'm not dead yet.
Look, I've never worked in an environment like that, but I have done. I have been involved in plenty of projects where that has happened, and I'm not going to say that it's every project that I've been in, except it is every project that I've been in, because that is my default personality, and it needs work. And I do not work well with others, so I know intimately, not because I have a lot of experience with people's bad behavior, but because I have to constantly rein myself in to be like, what do you mean I need to wait for somebody else to do their job? How dare you suggest such a thing? What do you mean I need to communicate what I'm doing? Disgusting behavior. No. No communication allowed. And to be fair, like, to a degree, part of that is also sort of like intrinsic to, like, oh, what am I doing? Killing myself, that's what I'm doing.
I'm not dead
Right.
yet.
No, I remember. So, part of that is intrinsic to the way that corporate architecture works, because you are explicitly, like, set up as competitors with the people that you're supposed to be collaborating with. In a lot of corporate environments, right? That's a very common, thing. But the
Great.
but part of it is just, part of it isn't, like, tied into the sort of, like, intrinsic, like, like, reward systems involved, and a lot of it is tied to the just the way that people behave by default until they learn to do better. And not being expected to learn to do better is a great way to just never have people improve in those ways. What are you? You're reflecting. Oh! Oh, right! So that's probably what happened the last time. I just got shot out of the sky. As per normal. Not in some weird... I would have thought that I would have noticed that, but... No. I also might have just attacked. I don't know. I don't know what happened that one time. This is a bad idea. We've got the boss on us. I just healed when I needed to cast fly. Like, need to cast the fly. Get under here. I just need the boss under here. Everybody else can do whatever the fuck you want. But you... Why are you walking so far away from me? You and your ranged AI bullshit. There we go. There we go. Alright, I don't care about the others. If the others come up, that's fine. We're not taking enough damage to be relevant right now. Did you sneak up behind me? No, you're fine. Someone might be sneaking up in front of me, though. Somebody is hitting me, right? I think one of the little ones is probably hitting me. Unless this is just this one being confused. Whew. Let's see. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for people who finish projects.
We don't need this.
I have finished projects in my time, but I've finished small scale writing projects, right? Like I've written a series of novellas, and the series is incomplete in the sense that I have more novellas that are in progress, but it's complete in the sense that I have a completed novella trilogy that has a clear, coherent beginning, middle, and end, and which like works as a standalone product, even if it was intended to be part of a larger like thing. The actual storyline of that section is fully finished, and did I do the fourth? Did I write? Have I written 4 now? I think wait, did I get Ferran's Gambit done? I did get Ferran's Gambit done, didn't I? Question mark? I think so. Yeah, 100%. I'm not good. It took a lot. I didn't know at the time that I had ADHD. So the way that I got my books written was I would start the morning writing at home. And then when my ADHD demanded, which again I didn't know was ADHD at the time, when my ADHD demanded that I get up and do something else, I would get up, go to McDonald's, get a breakfast, and write while I was there. In Singapore, McDonald's are basically like similar to a Starbucks elsewhere, but with generally a younger clientele. It's like Starbucks for like teenagers. Anyway, so they have. It's normal for someone to just be sitting there like working on a project. I wouldn't say it's normal for people to be writing a book, because that's not a very well respected thing to be doing with your time in Singapore. Not a huge number of writers in Singapore. Probably more now than there were when I first arrived 15 years ago or whatever. But at any rate, and then from there, I would keep writing until I had to like get up, would go take the train, think about the what I was working on, until I got to an actual Starbucks that was not the closest Starbucks, but was actually quite far away. So I'd be spending like 30 minutes on the train. And then I would work there until fail, and then come home and work until fail. Right? It was like doing reps or something. Let's see. Yeah, I think that it's very useful to like and it is like legitimately like fail faster. That's actually a good way to describe what I was doing, because I was like, okay, I'm going to set up 4 distinct work sessions over the course of the day, and each one of those work sessions I'm going to keep working until I hit a brick wall. And the thing about those brick walls is that those brick walls seem like they're brick walls until you have been looking away from it for 30 minutes. And now you're looking at it again and you're like, oh no, I know how to deal with this. So... and yeah, once you've hit a wall, it's like, okay, well that's the progress that I can make until something changes. Yeah, if you stop before you hit a wall at all, the next time you sit down, you could just not have realized that you were like 3 inches away from a brick wall that you were going to hit, and then you hit a brick wall the second that you start. And to be fair, that can still happen. Even if you like go to fail, you can still be like, oh, okay, well, I still don't know how to solve this problem. Or you figure out how to fix that problem, and then 5 minutes later you run into another brick wall. That does happen, right? Some of my work days were fairly short because I kept hitting walls. But, within the span of a couple of months, I had finished some books with absolutely nothing being done to mitigate my ADHD at all. I'm very proud of those books. I think that, I like my writing style, but, like, it was also written when I was 20, so it's like, obviously this was written by a 20-year-old. This isn't something that I would write today, right? Not because of, like, the prose or anything like that. My prose is probably not improved meaningfully in this time. I don't practice it. But the comprehension of, like the way that like systems of power work and this, that, or the other thing are still fairly like bare bones. But I think I read it sometime fairly recently, and I felt like it held up pretty well. Like, I generally don't like reading the stuff that I've written. I don't like looking at my own work. I tend to cringe. I have a very strong cringe reflex for that kind of stuff. Well, actually, one thing that was very funny that I realized while I was making that project is how like stressful it is to have like someone editing your stuff. I get so stressed out when someone's editing. Like, I couldn't be in the same room with someone who's reading my book. Like, I can't be in the same room as them while they're reading it. It's like, it's way too stressful. Just the idea that they're reading my book is like, no, you can do that somewhere else. Don't do that near me. Get away from me with all that shit. Wow, we are taking some damage from you.
Don't know.
That is a concern. I let the haste wear off. Actually, you know what? That's probably for the best for me, now that I think about it. Why did I move away instead of just letting it? Yeah, because it's not really tied to their behavior at all, right? It's just like a weird way that you're interacting with your own work. come over here. I don't need you to come over here. You just stay exactly where you... No! Oh, shit. Why are you not willing to stay still once I get close enough to you? Is it because I'm not actually getting close enough to you? Is that the problem? I think that is the problem. I might not be able to get close enough to these to actually lock them in place. Can I stand here instead and maybe you'll be nice? No, I don't think so. I can't. I can't prevent you from trying to reach... Ooh, maybe I can if I'm not... Ooh, maybe if I'm floating up in the air a little bit and I don't land. Because when I land, they know that they have a way to path to me. No, they seem to know that they have a path to me even if I'm in the air just a little bit. Let's go over here. You currently don't feel like you have a path to me. So you're just going to be hovering directly below me. And that's it. Okay, so... I actually don't know that we can get into melee range with this without it feeling like it has an answer. But it seems to have gotten locked in temporarily.
I've never seen one before.
But yeah, we really have come a long way on these thorns enemies. I'm keeping the weakness on because of the thorns. The weakness is halving my damage, which means that it makes the incoming damage more manageable. By halving my outgoing damage, I'm halving my incoming damage. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately for me, I'm very flighty, and I really need people to be interested in my projects to have any interest in doing them. Like I could be working on a writing project. That's a thing I could be doing at any given point. But, like, basically none of the people that I care about have an interest in reading it, because they just don't read the genres that I would be writing. And I don't have, like, any sort of, like, mass market, right? Like, so, like, for me, I'm just like, well, because part of it is the fact that it's, like, for writing, like, I know what happens next. I don't need to find out. Like, there's joy in discovering how it's going to happen, right? But it's like, I have the next 300 years of history in this setting already in my head, right? That's just permanently affixed in my head. It's so many years later, I could tell you the next, like, 3 major, like, events, like, basically off the top of my head. And that's not true. There's only 2 really major events that are going to happen in the next couple hundred years that are, like, relevant from this context. Like, I would be jumping around. But I think that I could tell you basically what's going to happen in the next, I don't know, like, 10 novellas if I were to continue the project. So I could just tell you that, right, over coffee. I could just describe that. And so for me, I'm not getting any benefit out of doing this because I already know what is happening. I did the cool part that I love doing, which is figuring out, like, what is going to happen and what are the dynamics, like, what are the characters involved, like, what are the systems involved, all that kind of stuff. And those problems are the problems that are the most, like, interesting and gripping for me, right? And the part where I actually put, my hands on a keyboard and type it all out so that we see the exact details of how everything goes down and this, that, and the other stuff, and so that it's shareable in any sort of coherent form. That stuff is... Hey, Poutine. That stuff is not as interesting to me, like, personally. So if I don't have anyone to share it with, then it's like, why am I doing it? Why am I not just doing the first part, which is the fun part? So we're in trouble. Shared life is not working to pick up work.
Oh.
Cannon design. We don't need to worry about cannons. 2d44 plus 35. That sounds pretty good. Oh, well that... Oh, right, it's Scholar's Cap. We still have the Scholar's Cap equipped.
No room.
Oh, man. I love the Scholar's Cap. Look,
That's no.
it makes me happy. And that can be a big problem, right? That's what makes it difficult to actually finish projects to a degree. Is if you overplan, you never get around to the part where it's like, okay, well, I do need to actually like put my nose to the grindstone and actually do something. Like, it's very productive to plan, but it's only really productive to plan for a thing that you actually do eventually. If that makes any sense, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. We're doing it anyway. I don't care. We're gonna die. It's fine. I've saved, right? Have I saved? I actually don't know if I've saved. I've probably saved. It's fine. That's cool.
We don't need this.
That is a 1d81 plus 31. Okay, that's actually not that cool. It looks cool. And that's what matters, right? Ooh, boy. So we leaked 4 in on us. Look, this is fine. Everything about this is fine. It's all fine.
Can someone hear?
Everything about this is fine. This is fine. I'm just gonna randomly start attacking the wrong target. This is fine. Alright, we're gonna switch back to normal attacks because this is just 2 protectors now. I feel like these are not protecting things. Let's see. Because planning is basically a force multiplier on work, right? Like, it's just, support for the work. So, at some point you need the carry who's doing the damage in order to benefit from all of those supports adding a plus 30% modifier to all your stats, Like, all of the plus percent modifiers in the world don't matter if you're never actually hit the attack command. That's too many enemies. I should just pull out. Are we going to? No, we're going to live dangerously for a little bit. And that little bit is going to put us in a position where we can't leave